Hey everybody, it's Jack with Future Pastimes. Welcome to the Warp. In this video, I'm going to do just a review of the aliens of the month for 2023. So this was a series I started a year ago, last January, and I did a showcase on one alien each month that I think is a fantastic alien, one that I love to play, or one that I think brings a lot of really interesting innovation or mechanisms to Cosmic Encounter. So I'm going to do a little bit of review of those aliens, and there'll be links to each of those videos for this year. And I will continue to do this series in 2024 and hopefully beyond as well. So January's alien was Joker. So this is a red alert alien from Cosmic Dominion. So that was the fan expansion, expansion 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cover everything that the alien does. You can go to those videos if you want to get it. I'm just going to do a review, and then I'm going to rank these 12 aliens. So we'll get a little something extra out of it. February it was Laser, and this is also from Cosmic Dominion, but this is an alien that was previously published by both Eon and Mayfair, but it was changed a little bit, and that's because this was an alien that crossed over a sort of design mantra that Kevin Wilson established about not really wanting to include aliens that take away too much agency from other players. So the original Laser didn't really give you much choice. It chose a card at random from your hand, an encounter card, and that's the card you had to play. So you didn't really have any choice about it. This one has a twist on that, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and that's why I wanted to showcase it. March was the Bride. March is actually my anniversary month, and that's why I chose the Bride. But also because the Bride is a fantastic alien. And guess what? This is also from Cosmic Dominion. This was one that was designed by Peter Laka's granddaughter, and it was the gown at first. But we revamped it a little bit, and we ate into the Bride, and actually the beta testers took it up to 11. So this is a great alien. It's an alien designed by a committee, but we ended up with not a camel, but a really good alien. April was Fido. This was an alien designed by Brandon Friels as a homebrew many years ago, and it is an alien that showed up on a lot of people's best homebrew list, and it certainly caught Kevin Wilson's eye because he included it in the base games. This is a base game alien. It's a solid alien. It's really good, and I did want to showcase that as well. The next alien that we had is Merchant. This is from Cosmic Incursion. This is just a really powerful alien, and a lot of people don't realize the true potential of Merchant the first time they kind of read through what it does. But as you're playing it, you're realizing, can I do this with all of these extra cards? And the answer is yes. So very powerful alien, and one I wanted to make sure that people knew just how cool it was. From Cosmic Eons, we had Coward, which is an alien that I really enjoy, and it's probably one of the pithiest aliens from that expansion. So that was the 6th expansion. It's the one that was designed by original Cosmic Encounter designers Bill Eberly and Peter Laka. And it has a lot of, it's got a good number of red alert aliens in that expansion, and a lot of aliens with lots of tiny text because they're trying to cover a lot of edge cases with the description. And they're a little more complex, but this is a great alien in that expansion that is very straightforward. It's really good. I enjoyed this a lot. The next one we had, this was the July one. So I went with Patriot for the 4th of July, Independence Day here in America. And also because this is, I think, is an underrated alien. It's from Cosmic Storm, and Cosmic Storm sometimes gets a bad rap as being a terrible expansion. I don't think that's true. I think it's probably the bottom ranked expansion, but again, I think it's worth having, and I think this is a pretty good alien. A lot of people have a hard time with the name. They feel like there's a disconnect between Patriot and the effects. I'm fine with it. It has never bothered me. The art is very strange. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I like this alien, and I'm glad it got included. So I put that in there. Then we had, for the Dog Days of Summer, I had Inferno. This is from Odyssey. It is, I think it's a really cool alien, and Odyssey is the most recent expansion, the 7th expansion for Cosmic Encounter. And It's a green alert alien, but it's one of those aliens that has a sneaky effect in its flare, so you don't really know the full potential. This is all good right here. This is a good alien. It's one that gets everybody's flares. So it's sort of the Volch of flares, but it's got a little extra thing that Volch doesn't have, which makes it a very exciting alien. Then we have September's alien was Fungus, and Fungus is also from Cosmic Incursion. It was one of the top requested aliens that was not part of the base game. Very powerful alien, and what's really fun about Fungus is that it really makes good use of the stackable nature of the ships in the Fantasy Flight Edition, because it's going to be capturing other people's ships and stacking them underneath their own ships and then counting them later on as well. So very powerful. It's double duty here, where it's capturing ships, which is pretty good all by itself, but then it's using them to increase the value of its own ships. So a really powerful alien, and one that everyone was really happy to see in that first expansion. Also in Cosmic Incursion is Ghoul. And Ghoul is an alien that had been published in Encounter Magazine, and it was one that I recommended to Kevin Wilson when he told me that he was going to be having the reward deck as the variant in that expansion. And this is an alien that's going to get rewards. And what's interesting is it's one of the few effects in the game that specifies Defender rewards as what it's getting. So when I play with it in my home set, it can get to those purple reward cards that are just Defender rewards, which is its own crazy thing. So this was an alien. This was the October alien Ghoul. And so then we had November was Maven. Maven also from Cosmic Eons. And not too much crazy tiny text. Very unique, very powerful alien that really came together with Bill Martinson's idea on using the different encounter cards, positive attack, or not positive, odd attack, even attack, and then negotiate to determine the outcome of other players' encounters. So very powerful. And then I finished out the year. The December alien is Cavalry. This is an alien from Cosmic Conflict, and it's one that had been part of the Mayfair set. That was its first appearance in Cosmic Encounter, and it's a great alien, really good hand management alien. It's a good soft advantage of getting an alliance invitations a lot, and it's a combat alien as well. So it's got a lot of good stuff going on. So if we take these 12 aliens, and look, we're going to go through here, and I'm going to say for my money, I'm going to actually put Fido as the number 12 alien. I know it's a really good alien, but the reason that I rate it this low, and again, if we're talking about over 200 aliens, and this is actually one of the top aliens, so I don't know that it's actually my number 12 aliens. There's other aliens that I like better than the 12 that I have showcased, and we'll certainly get to some of those in the following year. But this one is one that it's helping itself, but a lot of times it's helping other players. So for me, I'm not opposed to that sort of tactic, and I think that Fido can be, leveraged very successfully by just about any type of player. But I've seen Fido giving cards to people who had no business getting those cards. Oh, I'm giving you the attack 40 just so I can get a card from the deck, and then what you got was a negotiator, an attack 0. That can work against you. So that's why I'm putting Fido all the way at the bottom. But it was a tough one because I was considering also putting Patriot. Just after I've told you, Patriot is not so bad. It's pretty good. But again, I think it's only because these other aliens I think are better. So I do like Patriot, and I would pick Patriot over Fido most of the time. Probably not every time. It's going to depend on who I know is in that game, and any certain other factors may play into it, but I think still Patriot's a pretty good alien, but I think some of these others are much better. So I'm going to set aside a couple of these that I know are going to be in the top. And I would say that my next one up is going to be Maven. So Maven, the downside of Maven is you have to be not a main player ally. You have to be not involved. And I like to be involved in most of the encounters. So I think it is a great alien. It's powerful and unique. It's a good one to potentially save the game from ending before Maven has a chance to be a contender to win. But I don't necessarily want to be the one who's jumping on the grenade all the time for that. So if somebody else wants to be Maven, that's great. But it's not going to be for me. The next one up on the list is probably going to be Coward. And again, Coward, it's really good. It's an alien that's going to get rewards, but you're basically running away. So, you know, you're a main player, your encounter cards selected, but they're not revealed, and then you're just fleeing. You go to the resolution phase. It still counts as a success, which is great. So it gets you out of encounters that you don't want to lose your ships, and you're getting rewards for each of your ships that you had in the encounter, or rather that your opponent had in the encounter, but again, you're not really advancing your score by running away. So that's why it doesn't, you know, getting certain rewards, especially with the reward deck in the game and ultra rewards, holy cow, you can get some good stuff as Coward that maybe will help you later on. So it's good for the long con, but I think that probably it's not going to score any higher than that. I think I will put Laser as the next one up on this list. This one, again, it's, you know, you're choosing cards at random from your opponent based on the number of opposing ships, and setting those aside so that they don't have access to them. And that can help you out because, again, if you set aside all of their encounter cards, you just automatically win. So that's good. But again, there's a little bit of trade-off there. And so sometimes it doesn't really help you out. Sometimes it doesn't have much of an effect. So it's a great alien, but like I said, some of these I like even better. So next up on the list is going to be Inferno. Inferno doesn't score any higher here because it does make people afraid to play their flares at all. And so that can be a downer sometimes where you're like, oh, you know, nobody's playing a flare, so I'm not getting any of these flares. They've got to be playing them and trying to put them back into their hand. That's how you get them. Now, you're going to be adding in 5 extra Inferno flares. So there's going to be 6 of them in the deck. After hands are dealt, you add the other 5. And you just need to have 5 flares, and 2 of them need to be Inferno flares. So it's very doable. And though Inferno Wild is very tempting to play, and then, of course, Inferno will get that card. But it's hard. Everyone wants to Cosmic Zap you. They're saving their Cosmic Zaps for Inferno. And you know, a game where you're not playing as many flares is not as interesting. So that's why that one's going to go a little bit further down. It's a tough choice between these two. I'm going to go with Ghoul next. Now, I have played Ghoul, and I have absolutely just dominated the game with Ghoul. But if your opening hand is pretty weak, it's not necessarily going to be hard for you to get good cards at any point. So it's going to be hard for you to trigger on this. So this is going to be very dependent. If you've got some good cards initially, you can win, especially if you can go against several other players and just knock out several ships in one encounter. That's a ton of rewards. And, of course, you want to have the reward deck. If it's not in the game, this is actually going to fall farther down on that list than that. And then you got Fungus. So again, I like Fungus because it is doing 2 things at once. It's capturing, and then it's using the captured ships. So it can be a very powerful alien. I mean, it's here. It's in the top 5 of the aliens for 2023. But especially when I play Fungus, everyone gangs up on me. They're like, no. And if it goes my way and everyone's ganging up on me and I have the 40 and I can capture a ton of ships, that's great. But that's a lot of ifs. So that doesn't really necessarily work out for me. All right, and this is just in terms of fun to play. So I'm going to put Cavalry as the number 4 alien because these others are just a little sexier. But I love Cavalry. I love Hand Manager. It's one of my favorite things in Cosmic Encounter. And this is an alien that I think helps out with that. You're getting a chance to use your ability because people do want to invite you. Especially if they're afraid that the other player is going to invite you. So you can usually pick which side you want to join. You can usually play something good, but you can play whatever you want. So unlike Reserve, which wants to be involved, and it can only play those low cards, Cavalry can play whatever, and Cavalry can get compensation too if you've got Negotiate. So this is a really good alien. But I think we're going to go down, and next we're going to do Merchant, because Merchant is really powerful, especially if you're just using expendable cards as ships, and then if you win, you just keep those cards. If you lose them, but you were figuring they were expendable anyway. So it lets you go above and beyond the 4-ship limit when you're an ally, and so to get more rewards or whatever the case may be. So Merchant, really powerful. These last 2 I think are the most fun to play. And again, it's really close. I'm going to put Joker as number 2. Those tokens, you get those special tokens, and then you're setting a card as wild. But the downside here is, you start with 8, which is the most common attack card, but that doesn't mean that it's going to show up all the time or that people are going to play it. And so there's ways to dance around Joker. Sometimes you can leverage it into, hey, invite me as an ally and play the card, and then I can use one of my good tokens. But at some point, then you're down to the dreg tokens, and then you might have to play them. So it's, it can be a mixed bag. It's not quite as fun as Bride, because Bride really gets to have the cake and eat it too. You're marrying another player, which makes you buddies. And then at some point you can just say, I'm tired of this buddy, and I'm going to divorce them and take half their cards. And I guess that's that part that the beta players insisted on having us include. And they were right, because it really elevates Bride. So Bride is great. And what's really wonderful is that this art was not meant to be Bride, but it really works great. It was going to be the Lloyd. And the art we ended up with Lloyd, I think, is better than this art for Lloyd. And this is a great art for Bride. So those are my ranking of the 12 aliens of 2023. Let me know in the comments how you would rank these 12 aliens, and let me know any other thoughts. Of course, watch those videos if you haven't a chance to look at them and get the deep dive on each alien. And give me your comments on those videos as well if you haven't already. And that's it. Well, I hope you will keep watching the Alien of the Month series in 2024. And I've already figured out all of the aliens for 2024. So it's going to be fun for me to talk more about them and get the details and hear the feedback. So that's it for this video, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.